Hi, I'm Vince, also known as Doc Kunda, the Urban Shaman. I'm set up today with my reading room, teacher's library, a collection of books on mysticism, tantra, shamanism, herbalism, history, philosophy, economic theory, and other miscellaneous books from my personal library.
To the line of work you're into right now?
Well, I had an intuition a number of years ago that there were a number of herbs that were still legal that our government hasn't classified yet, and I did research and investigation and found out that a lot of plants and herbs from a lot of cultures all around the world are available for our use and our benefit. For the IRS, do you? I'm a part-time herbalist apprentice at an herb farm. Do a little volunteer work out there and work in the gardens, and have my craft work that I do. I make jewelry, herbal extractions. I want to expand into the medicinal herbs a little bit more, but right now it's jewelry, herbs, jade and agate jewelry from China, stuff like that. I do some festivals, but predominantly the coffee shop here and through word of mouth and friends.
So, what were you doing before you got in this? Did you ever have like just a regular 9-to-5 job?
Well, when I first moved to Austin, I was temporarily disabled and actually homeless and living in my truck when I first came here, and that's when I met the man that runs the herb farm and got a foot in the door there with my experience as an organic gardener. But I hadn't ever worked in the field before. This is basically a new direction in my life. I had worked in Houston in construction for 20 years prior to all of this occurring, but some physical problems temporarily arose that prevented me from pursuing that kind of work, and since then things have taken this direction here.
So how long did you like survive in your truck, and like what did you do? How long of a period in your life was that?
Maybe 2 or 3 months before I moved from Houston, and 2 months while I was here. But I stayed at Emma Long Metro Park 2 weeks each month, $6 a night, and rented camping space, and just figured I was catching up on all those camping vacations that I missed when I worked a regular 9-to-5. Looked at the best of it, got to enjoy beautiful Lake Austin and get a feel for the city, and then took it from there.
So did people help you out when you were homeless? Like, or what did you do to get food and you know, the basic necessities?
Well, I still had herbs and pipes and things that I was selling from when I was in Houston. I had started this whole endeavor, so I made enough money to keep food in my mouth just through taking advantage of what little I had with me and what little I could do, and applied myself. And things worked out a little bit at a time.
How long ago was this time period?
About 3 years ago.
Hey, so this guy, he found you, and how did this guy find you when you were homeless and give you a position or get interested in that line of work?
Well, I had a number of Mexican agave cactus that I had been raising when I was in Houston and had no place for them, being that I didn't have a home anymore. So I placed an ad in the Austin For Sale news group while visiting at the local library, taking advantage of my library internet time. And he answered the advertisement and purchased some of my agave cactus off of me for his nursery, and we started talking, and within several visits of meeting him, he offered me some part-time contract work, which was just what I needed at the time.
What is your definition of success?
Success, that would be following one's bliss and finding one's path of least resistance to an empowered way of living, free from negativity and restrictions.
Where does your definition of success come from?
I study a lot of spiritual disciplines that all seem to point to the same kind of ideas regarding personal responsibility, regarding what's real, what's illusionary, regarding how to create magic in one's life, how to live an empowered living.
Do you consider yourself a success? Why or why not?
Yes, I am a success. I'm living my dreams. I'm doing artistic things in a free-form way. I'm doing what I feel I'm here to do, what comes naturally to me, and making it work financially and emotionally, spiritually, in a unified way. I don't believe in the compartmentalized lifestyle that many people live according to the traditions or societal structure that we have. The compartmentalization keeps people from being whole, and by integrating one's life, their hobbies, their talents, their work, their play, all into one, then it's easier to become empowered and to be a success at whatever you're doing.
So who inspires you in your life?
I'm not sure that I could say I have a human inspiration. I'm inspired by the mystical disciplines themselves, the sciences that they teach, the knowledge that they impart on us on how to overcome our illusionary world and embrace the real world, the whole world.
So how do you know when you're successful?
That depends on one's definition of success. Some people do define it differently. Some materialistically, some to do with an inner peace. So that really is subjective upon any one person's goals of what they find to be success. But I think it requires having peace with what you're doing, being happy with what you're doing, and learning and growing in the process, not being stagnant in your life.
Do you think that is money tied to success?
Not necessarily. Success should bring a certain level of comfort as far as eliminating basic human needs, but beyond that, too much money, what can that buy? Just things.
What is your advice to those who are struggling?
My advice would be not to focus on what you don't have, but to focus on what you do have. Because in life, we can always find things that we don't like about our situation or about a person if we look for it. But we can always find something we do like about a situation or a person if we look for it. So if our happiness is determined by what we find in life, isn't it really more determined by what we're looking for? So look for the magic in your life every day, and then you'll begin to find it, and work with it, and grow with it, and become successful in whatever you do.